Hello everyone, my name is Sonali Chopra. Welcome back to another episode of Around the World. There is a saying that enemy's enemy is a friend, and something similar is being seen in global politics these days. On a global level, two powerful countries, China and Russia, are coming closer to each other. Recently, after being elected as the president of Russia for the fifth time, Vladimir Putin chose China for his first foreign visit. Similarly, Xi Jinping, after being appointed as the Chinese president for the third term in March 2023, also chose Russia for his first foreign trip. These reciprocal visits can be seen as a growing partnership between the two countries. Now the question arises, why are China and Russia getting closer to each other? Additionally, what impact will the growing proximity between Russia and China have on the global geopolitics? And what effect will the Russia-China relationship have on India's relations with these countries? In today's episode, we will explore the answers to these questions. So let's start the discussion. China is situated in the eastern part of the Asian continent and shares its borders with 14 countries, making it the country with the most neighboring countries in the world. Although the fact remains that China's relations with most neighboring countries are tense. On the other hand, when we talk about Russia, a country spanning two continents, it shares its borders with countries from Finland in Europe to Japan in Asia. Talking about the diplomatic relations of both countries, the seeds were sown in 1950 when China and the Soviet Union signed treaties of friendship, alliance, and mutual assistance. The friendship that has continued over the decades has been given a new dimension by Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin. Meanwhile, after Vladimir Putin took the oath as the president of Russia for the fifth time, he embarked on his first foreign trip to China. Vladimir Putin visited China to participate in the celebration of 75 years since the People's Republic of China was recognized by the Soviet Union. During this time, the leaders of both countries discussed issues such as military power, technology, artificial intelligence, renewable energy sources, and bilateral trade. Looking at the relations between Russia and China amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict, it is evident that there has been an acceleration in the ties between Putin and Xi Jinping. After the invasion of Ukraine, Western countries imposed several sanctions on Russia, and it was China that came forward to assist Russia. If we look at the data, bilateral trade between the two countries has significantly increased since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In 2021, bilateral trade between China and Russia increased from $146.9 billion to $190.3 billion in 2022, and it further rose to $240.1 billion in 2023. This has provided Russia with an essential export outlet and revenue stream. Additionally, Russia has become a top crude oil supplier to China, with its oil shipments to China increasing by more than 24% in 2023 despite Western sanctions. Amidst the current situation, Russia has clearly become a junior partner in the China-Russia partnership. We say this because while China is supplying weapons to Russia, on the other hand, China has increased its imports of natural gas from Russia by 50%. A gas pipeline from Russia's Arctic gas field, Yamal, to China via Mongolia will be the second longest gas pipeline. It is being named Power of Siberia 2. Through energy partnership with Russia, China aims to strengthen energy security, and this strategic partnership is crucial. It is evident that it is through these efforts towards each other that the China-Russia relationship is developing steadily. With many countries around the world are divided into two camps regarding the Russia-Ukraine conflict. On the one hand, China does not officially support Russia, but on the other hand, it has not raised its voice against it either. Since the dominant struggle between Russia and China is with America, in such a scenario, China sees Russia as an ally against America. Similarly, the impact of this partnership is also showing on India-Russia relations to some extent. It is apparent that China can limit Russia's relationship with India. China can also bring significant changes to India-Russia defense relations. Clearly, in terms of arms, China is a far more important customer for Russia than India. This is why Russia sells some of its more advanced platforms to China but not to India. This includes the Sukhoi 35 fighter aircraft and the S-400 system. However, a few years after selling to China, Russia also exported the S-400 system to India. It is worth mentioning that the jointly developed BrahMos missile by Russia and India has not been sold to any other country for many years, while other developing countries are eager to buy it. It is said that Russia was not willing to sell this missile to any country that could use it against China. Nevertheless, while China and Russia are giving a new dimension to their relations, they are more focused on using each other to advance their interest in global geopolitics than benefiting each other directly. So now is the turn of this week's Sunday special episode, in which we will talk about some other important news. An agreement has been reached between the Indian company India Ports Global Limited and the Ports and Maritime Organization of Iran for a period of 10 years. This agreement is for the operation of the 𝐠𝐲𝐻𝐻𝐻 port port in Chabahar for 10 years. The agreement formalizes the framework agreement signed in 2016. Under this agreement, IPGL will equip and develop the Chabahar port terminal. Its aim is to prepare alternative routes for landlocked Afghanistan and Central Asian countries. While political relations between India and China are certainly tense, their commercial relations have strengthened. According to data from the economic think tank Global Trade Research Initiative, China emerged as India's largest trading partner in the fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Bilateral trade between the two countries amounted to $118.4 billion in the fiscal year 2023-24. Meanwhile, the United States ranks second on this list. Recently, a joint exercise called 𝐸𝐻𝐒 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 was conducted between India and the United States in Kolkata. The previous edition of this exercise was held in Chennai in January 2023. This is the 7th edition of the India-US counter-terrorism exercise. It is conducted between the National Security Guard and the US Special Operations Forces. This exercise included intensive training and mock drills in urban counter-terrorism scenarios. Its aim is to enhance bilateral cooperation between India and the US in dealing with all forms and manifestations of terrorism. So that's all in today's episode. See you in the next episode. But before that, let's note down a question based on today's story. Analyze the relations between China and Russia in the light of changing geopolitics. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.